A woman in her early 50s came to see me last month. She sat down, looked me in the eye, and whispered,
"Doctor, I don't understand. I eat less than I ever have in my life. I skip dessert, I count every bite, but my belly just keeps growing. Is it my fault?"
That question broke my heart, because it's one I hear far too often. If you're watching this, maybe you've asked yourself the same thing. Maybe you've looked in the mirror and thought, "I used to have control. What happened to me?" Here's the truth no one tells you. It's not just about what you eat. In fact, eating less might be working against you. Shocking, right? But it's true. Thousands of women are struggling silently, not because they're lazy or lack willpower, but because their bodies are changing in ways they were never warned about. Hormones shift, muscle disappears, insulin resistance creeps in, and all the rules you followed in your 20s and 30s, they stop working. Meanwhile, society keeps shouting, "Eat less, move more." And when that fails, it tells you, well, maybe it's just your genes. But what if I told you the real reasons go deeper than that, and you actually have more control than you think? In this video, we're going to unpack it all. Why so many women gain weight after 40, why it's not your fault, and how to finally work with your body instead of fighting it. Let's start with part 1, how your hormones silently shift after 40, and how that changes everything you thought you knew about weight loss.
Talk about something most of us live with every single day, but rarely notice. The modern food trap. Picture this. You walk into a gas station to grab water, and there's a wall of candy bars, chips, and grab-and-go snacks right at the checkout. You stop at the pharmacy, and somehow the first aisle is filled with soda and cookies. Fast food? It's cheaper than a salad, and everything is designed to be addictive, loaded with sugar, salt, and fats that light up the pleasure centers in your brain. This isn't about lack of willpower. It's about an environment that's been engineered to make overeating feel normal, even automatic. I had a patient, 55 years old, who told me she didn't even realize she was snacking 5 times a day. "It's just a few crackers here, a bite of muffin there," she said. "I thought I was being good because I skipped lunch." And yet, those small bites added up, and her blood sugar levels kept rising. The lesson? In today's world, we're not just eating too much. We're surrounded by food that's too easy, too cheap, and too disconnected from real nourishment. But once you start seeing the trap, you can step out of it. And that brings us to the next piece of the puzzle. What happens inside your body, especially after 50, when hormones begin to shift and muscle starts melting away? For decades, women have been told that weight loss is simple, just eat less and move more. But after 40, and especially after 50, that advice doesn't just stop working, it can actually backfire. When you consistently undereat, your body doesn't see it as discipline, it sees it as danger. And its natural response is to slow your metabolism, break down muscle for energy, and store fat to protect you. I remember a 54-year-old client who came in feeling hopeless. She was eating less than 1,200 calories a day, walking every evening, and still gaining weight. "I feel like my body is punishing me," she said. The truth was, her body was trying to protect her from perceived starvation. Over time, extreme dieting raises cortisol, your stress hormone, increases insulin resistance, and reduces muscle mass, all of which make fat loss even harder. The lesson? After 50, your body doesn't need fewer calories. It needs better fuel, stable blood sugar, and support to rebuild muscle and hormones. Real transformation comes when we stop punishing the body and start nourishing it properly. And the most powerful way to do that? It's not more cardio. It's building back your most protective asset, muscle. Let's talk about why muscle is your metabolism's best friend. One of the most overlooked changes during and after menopause isn't just hot flashes or mood swings. It's muscle loss. And it's not your fault. Starting around age 40, women begin to lose muscle mass naturally. By 50, this process speeds up, especially as estrogen levels decline. Estrogen doesn't just affect your cycle, it also plays a major role in maintaining lean muscle and keeping fat stored in the safer areas like hips and thighs. When estrogen drops, fat starts relocating to the abdomen, and the body becomes more prone to storing it, particularly around the organs, where it poses the greatest health risk. One patient of mine, 60 years old, told me she hadn't changed her weight much, but her clothes no longer fit. "It's like my body shape has completely shifted," she said, and she was right. Even without major weight gain, the loss of muscle and increase in visceral belly fat was silently reshaping her health profile. The empowering insight? You can rebuild muscle after 50, and doing so doesn't just change your shape, it protects your metabolism, bones, and blood sugar. Muscle is medicine. So how do you start building it back? Even if you've never lifted a weight before, let's dive into that next. We've all heard it. Just eat healthy, and the weight will come off. But for many women over 50, that promise feels like a cruel joke. Because the truth is, not all healthy food supports fat loss, especially when hormones and metabolism have shifted. I once had a 57-year-old patient who proudly told me she'd switched to smoothies, whole grains, and fruit snacks. "Everything I eat is healthy," she said. But when we looked closer, her meals were packed with sugar, just hidden behind natural labels. A fruit smoothie with oats and honey might sound clean, but it can spike blood sugar just like soda, especially in a body already battling insulin resistance. And without enough protein and fat to slow it down, that sugar ends up stored, often right in the belly. This doesn't mean you have to fear fruit or carbs. It means you need a smarter strategy, one that keeps your blood sugar stable, preserves muscle, and leaves you satisfied. The real key after 50 isn't just eating healthy, it's learning how your body responds to food now. Because once you stop chasing food fads and start focusing on balance, everything changes. And nothing supports that balance more than understanding your body's most powerful ally, your muscle. Let's talk about how to build it, even in your 50s, 60s, and beyond. One of the most important and most misunderstood parts of weight and wellness after 50 is knowing the difference between emotional hunger and physical hunger. Physical hunger builds gradually, often with clear signals. Your stomach growls, energy drops, maybe you feel lightheaded. It's your body's way of saying, "I need fuel." Emotional hunger, on the other hand, is sudden. It shows up in moments of stress, boredom, loneliness, or even celebration. It often craves specific comfort foods, chips, cookies, wine, and doesn't stop when you're full. I remember a 62-year-old patient who told me she ate a bag of pretzels every night after dinner. "I'm not even hungry," she said, "but it helps me unwind after the day." That wasn't about food, it was about soothing a feeling. The real insight here is this: you can't satisfy emotional hunger with physical food. And when we try to, we often feel worse, both physically and emotionally. The solution isn't restriction, it's awareness. It's learning to pause, ask what you really need, and respond with care, not punishment. Once you begin honoring your emotional needs in healthier ways, food starts to lose its grip. And when you pair that emotional awareness with smart, hormone-supportive eating, real transformation begins. So now, let's put it all together and map out a new strategy for women over 50 to lose fat without losing themselves. The good news? You don't have to guess your way through this anymore. Today, we have science-backed tools that can help women over 50 lose fat, support their hormones, and rebuild strength without crash diets or endless cardio. From continuous glucose monitors that show how your body responds to specific foods, to strength training plans tailored to postmenopausal women, to natural supplements that improve insulin sensitivity, we now have solutions that work with your biology, not against it. One of my patients, 59 years old, had struggled with yo-yo dieting for years. When we switched her from calorie restriction to protein-forward meals, light resistance training, and walking after dinner, everything changed. Her blood sugar stabilized, she started sleeping better, and the belly fat that wouldn't budge for years began to melt away. She didn't lose weight because she suffered, she lost it because her body finally felt safe enough to let it go. The lesson? You don't need more willpower, you need better strategies, ones rooted in how your body actually works now. When you apply the right tools, results feel easier, more natural, and more permanent. And to wrap it all up, let's talk about the most important shift of all, changing your mindset from self-blame to self-respect, and how that one change can transform your health journey. If you've ever felt like you're failing because you can't seem to lose weight, please hear this. You are not lazy, and you are not broken. You are living in a world that makes overeating the default and real nourishment confusing. From ultra-processed foods that hijack your brain chemistry, to a medical system that focuses more on blame than solutions, it's no wonder so many women over 50 feel frustrated, exhausted, and defeated. I had a 61-year-old patient who said, "I thought I just didn't have discipline anymore." But when we peeled back the layers, hormone shifts, insulin resistance, emotional eating patterns, poor sleep, we saw her body wasn't failing her. It was protecting her the only way it knew how. Once we started working with her biology instead of punishing it, everything shifted. The weight began to come off, her energy returned, her relationship with food became calmer, more empowered. The lesson? The odds have been stacked against you, but the power to turn things around is still yours. When you stop blaming yourself and start understanding what's really going on, you become unstoppable. So, if this message speaks to you, maybe it's time to stop dieting and start rebuilding your body and your trust in it, one small change at a time. Thanks for listening. I am Dr. Jonathan Blake Carter, always bringing you useful information about health.
Thanks for watching. Remember, your health is your greatest asset. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, share it with someone who might need it. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll keep bringing you clear, science-backed information on obesity, weight control, and living your healthiest life, so you can take charge of your future, starting today.